Target date funds don't have to be confusing, and in fact, they are really simplistic, but are they right for you? I will get into that in just a few moments, so stay tuned. Target date funds or life cycle funds are age-based retirement accounts that become more conservative over time as you get closer to your target date. Your target date being your ideal retirement date. So, what does that mean for you as an investor? Is this the right option? Well, there are a couple things you need to consider with target date funds. For one, target date funds really are going to be high risk to start, and then as you get to that year, let's say the year is 2050, as you get closer to 2050, your mixture of assets will change drastically so that you'll start out in high risk, maybe mutual funds, and then you'll slowly see that those mutual funds will disappear and become more bonds, more money market funds. One thing to note about target date funds is that you as an investor really don't do anything. All you really do is continue to put your money in, and the assets change over time automatically because somebody on the back end is doing that mixture for you. So it really is a set it and forget it type of investment strategy. And the number one reason people use target date funds is because they're super easy and simplistic. You don't have to think about them. And a lot of financial advisors, especially if they come to your employer and they come to your place of work, will often recommend these for you. But why? Why are they recommending them? Well, because they feel that as you get closer to retirement, you are less able to take a risk. And with that, you need to have more conservative holdings, a more conservative investment strategy. And target date funds, they do the work for you. However, there are some things to note about target date funds. Target date funds typically have fees, and those are things you need to be aware of because somebody is managing this on the back end. It doesn't just magically happen. So whenever somebody is doing all of that work for you, they're likely to charge you more. So that's something you want to be aware of with a target date fund. So when you're looking at maybe, I don't know, a whole list of target date funds, that year that you're looking at, let's say it's 2045 or 2050, that is telling you the target date for retirement. So people who are looking to retire in the year 2050, for example, they would likely be lumped into that particular target date fund. So why do people invest in target date funds? Well, the thought is that as you get closer to retirement, you are less able to take a risk and you don't want to lose a bunch of money right before you head into your golden years. However, I am not a fan of target date funds. I actually had retirement savings in a target date fund for a little while until I realized what a huge mistake that was and what a huge missed opportunity. And let me explain. As you get closer to retirement, the last thing you want to do is completely halt all of your growth and all of the potential you have to continue to see growth, because the reality is people typically live a lot longer than they plan for. You can live another 20, 30 years after retirement. Why would you want to completely halt all of your progress, all of that potential for extra growth? So let me show you a very clear example of why I do not personally like target date funds and why, even though some financial experts will recommend them, there are still plenty of others in the financial community who do not like them. So in this example, you're going to see two people. And what you're going to notice is that they both start retiring at the exact same age. And they're both putting the exact same amount of money in every single month. And we're even going to say they're going to retire at the exact same time. However, you will notice that the person who is investing in growth stock mutual funds is going to do far better than the person who is invested in a target date fund. Why? Because as they get closer to that date, as they get closer to retirement, they're going to start to slow down on their progress. They're going to be less aggressive in the stock market. They're going to start holding more bonds, more securities, things that will not see a lot of growth. Now, why would you want to do that? Why would you want to end with such a significant gap between person A and person B when the reality is most people are not going to just need every single penny in their retirement account the second they retire, right? You're going to take out just a little bit at a time as you need it. So you want to continue to be invested, and you want to be, again, balanced in your investments as well. So not saying you need to be high risk 100% of the time, but to completely slow your progress down and to be holding most of your retirement in bonds or securities is really not ideal when you're looking at long-term growth potential. So you can clearly see from this chart that person A and person B are going to have a very different outlook when it comes to their retirement holdings. There is going to be more growth potential when you are invested in growth stock mutual funds. Plain and simple, because you're continuing to invest and you're obviously going to have a balance in your mixture, and I will get into that in my very next video. So if you are not already subscribed, do so and hit that bell so you get notified when I post it. But essentially what you want to remember with target date funds or life cycle funds is that you're going to start out really high risk, and over time, as you get closer to retirement, you're going to get very conservative so that there's minimal risk involved, so that you're not losing a bunch of money. However, the problem is that is assuming that at that age, you're basically going to stop investing. Why would you do that? Why would you want to stop all of your growth potential when you might be living another 20, 30 years, God willing? So if that's the case, you need to be invested. You need to continue to invest even through your golden years. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, give this video a like because you got some value out of it. And stay tuned for my next video, again, where I'm going to explain the different types of mutual funds that you should be invested in so that you have a balanced portfolio. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to catch you on the next video.